brains, billions, and battle armor. When geniuses collide, two men, two empires, two very different ways of saving the world. On one side, Bruce Wayne, Gotham's silent guardian, the man who turned his trauma into relentless preparation, a human who became legend. Behind the mask, he is Batman, the world's greatest detective, the strategist who can bring gods to their knees with nothing but his mind, his fists, and his endless planning. On the other, Tony Stark, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, the man who weaponized his own heart and built an empire of iron. As Iron Man, he doesn't just fight crime. He revolutionizes the battlefield, evolving with every encounter, every threat. Two titans, both human, both armed with limitless resources. But only one can walk away the victor. At first glance, Bruce and Tony seem alike. Both billionaires. Both surrounded by luxury. Both haunted by their pasts. But that's where the similarities end. Bruce is defined by loss. He saw his parents murdered and swore no one else would suffer like him. His billions fuel his crusade, but money isn't the point. Batman lives in the shadows, building fear into a weapon. Tony, on the other hand, was a man of indulgence. He built his empire on charm, invention, and arrogance. But one act of terror, his capture in Afghanistan, forced him to change. His heart was rebuilt with technology, and his soul reshaped with purpose. Tony doesn't stalk the shadows. He shines in the light. Where Batman strikes from fear, Iron Man inspires with spectacle. But strip away their motivations, and the truth remains. They are two of the deadliest men alive. Not because of powers, not because of gods, but because they made themselves into weapons. Now imagine them face to face. The scenario doesn't matter. A crossover gone wrong, worlds colliding, or simply a test of supremacy. When Batman and Iron Man step into the same battlefield, the fight begins long before the first punch is thrown. Tony Stark doesn't hesitate. His armor activates in seconds, a symphony of whirring servos and glowing light. Repulsors hum with destructive energy. Advanced targeting systems lock onto Bruce before he even moves. Tony thinks he's already won. But Batman isn't standing still. The Dark Knight is never unprepared. In fact, the moment Tony's name crossed his radar, Bruce began studying him. Every weakness, every flaw, every exploit. That's Batman's greatest weapon. Not strength, not gadgets, but preparation. As Iron Man hovers, analyzing Batman's tech, he realizes something unsettling. The Batsuit is shifting. Reinforced plates. Magnetic countermeasures. An exoskeleton hidden beneath the cape. Batman didn't come to this fight with his standard gear. He came ready for Iron Man. The first clash is brutal. Iron Man fires a volley of missiles, smart tech designed to adapt mid-flight. Batman counters with micro-drones that scramble Stark's targeting systems. Explosions light the night sky as both men circle, testing one another. Tony smirks inside the helmet. Cute toys. But you're out of your league. Batman doesn't respond. He never wastes words. Instead, he strikes. Grappling hooks launch, tangling Iron Man's flight stabilizers. For a moment, Tony plummets. But before he hits the ground, his thrusters roar back to life, shredding the cables. The fight escalates. Iron Man unleashes sonic blasts, electromagnetic pulses, even nanotech weapons. Batman counters each with precision. Shock absorbers built into his cowl, stealth tech that scrambles sensors, EMP-resistant circuits embedded into his gauntlets. It's not just a fight of strength. It's a fight of brains versus adaptation. What makes this battle terrifying is not the destruction. It's the escalation. Every time Iron Man upgrades, Batman responds. Every time Batman counters, Stark adjusts. Billion-dollar tech collides with billion-dollar strategy, and neither man relents. The streets crack beneath their blows. Skyscrapers tremble as repulsor blasts and explosive batarangs detonate in the night. Civilians scatter, watching two legends wage war, not as gods, but as men who built themselves into gods. And yet, both know this battle isn't just about power. It's about proving a point. For Tony, it's about showing that brilliance, invention, and evolution can solve anything. For Bruce, It's about proving that discipline, training, and preparation can overcome even the most advanced technology. They are reflections of humanity's two extremes, one cloaked in shadows, the other burning with light. And when they clash, the world itself trembles. But this is only the beginning. Because the deeper this battle goes, the more dangerous it becomes. Batman isn't just fighting Iron Man. He's dissecting him, learning, calculating, predicting. And Iron Man isn't just blasting Batman. He's analyzing, adapting, evolving in real time. The longer it lasts, the higher the stakes rise. And somewhere in the chaos, both men realize a chilling truth. This isn't just a battle of billionaires. It's a battle of ideologies. And only one will walk away proving his way is right. The city burns around them. Flames light the night sky, casting long shadows across crumbling towers. And in the heart of it all, Batman and Iron Man collide again. The first round was testing, probing, measuring. Now, there's no hesitation. Now it's war. Iron Man strikes first. Repulsors flare, firing with pinpoint precision. The blasts slam into Batman's armored chest, sending him skidding across the pavement. His reinforced suit absorbs most of the impact, but the sheer force still rattles his ribs. "Stay down, Bruce." Tony's voice echoes from the suit, laced with arrogance. "You're impressive, but I've got a few thousand teraflops and a fusion reactor on my side." Batman rises, smoke trailing from his armor. His voice is low, cold. "You talk too much." In a blur, he hurls explosive batarangs. Stark's sensors register them instantly, countermeasures deploy, detonating them midair. But that's the distraction. From the smoke, Batman launches forward. Grapnel lines fire, wrapping around Iron Man's gauntlet. With a violent yank, Batman pulls Stark down from the sky and slams him into the street. The impact shatters concrete. But Iron Man doesn't stay down. The armor shifts, nanotech repairing dents, systems recalibrating. In seconds, Tony is airborne again, his HUD painting Batman in red outlines. "Okay," Stark mutters, recalculating. "Playtime's over." Micro-missiles swarm from his shoulder mounts, weaving through the night like a storm of metal hornets. Batman darts between wreckage, cape flaring as he dives into cover. Explosions chase him, fire and shrapnel tearing the ground apart. But Tony should know better. Batman never runs without purpose. Hidden beneath the chaos, Bruce triggers a trap. A pulse bomb detonates beneath Iron Man, flooding his systems with a surge of electromagnetic interference. Stark's HUD flickers. Repulsors falter. 3 seconds. 3 precious seconds. Iron Man is blind. And that's all Batman needs. He's on Stark in an instant, driving a gauntlet into the armor's chest plate. Sparks fly as reinforced knuckles strike reinforced steel. The Bat Gauntlet hums with kinetic amplifiers, each strike cracking circuits and plating. For the first time, Tony feels pain through the suit. But Iron Man is nothing if not adaptable. His systems reroute, stabilizers roar, and with a desperate surge of power, he releases a shockwave blast. Batman is hurled back, his armor scraping across asphalt. Tony steadies himself midair, chest reactor glowing hotter than ever. "You think you're the only one who plans, Bruce? I've fought gods. I've built armor to kill gods. You're just a man with toys." Batman's eyes narrow beneath the cowl. "Then why aren't I on the ground?" That silence stings more than any blow. The fight escalates. Iron Man switches to brute force, plasma cannons, sonic disruptors, laser arrays. Batman answers with surgical precision, magnetic scramblers, cloaking fields, and sheer martial skill. They tear through blocks of the city, each refusing to give an inch. Every move counters the last. Every trap breaks another trap. Tony Stark fights like a futurist, adapting on the fly, trusting his tech to evolve faster than the threat. Bruce Wayne fights like a tactician, predicting moves before they happen, exploiting every opening with ruthless efficiency. It's genius against genius. Pride against paranoia. Armor against armor. And yet, neither man falls. Because beneath the fists, the gadgets, and the explosions, something deeper drives them. Tony fights to prove his brilliance can solve any war. Bruce fights to prove discipline and preparation can overcome anything. And with each clash, the city shakes with their determination. But as the battle rages, a dangerous truth becomes clear. This isn't about who hits harder, or who has the better toys. It's about who's willing to cross the line. And in that question lies the shadow neither man wants to face. Because if either of them decides to stop holding back, someone isn't walking away. The battlefield is rubble. Buildings broken, streets cracked. Smoke rises like a veil, and in its heart, two silhouettes remain, Batman and Iron Man. Neither man looks defeated. But both know the truth. This fight can't drag on forever. It's time for the endgame. Tony Stark hovers above the ruins, reactor burning bright, systems running at maximum capacity. His HUD screams warnings, but he ignores them. He's faced gods, aliens, and cosmic nightmares. But never someone like this. Batman stands below, cape torn, armor scorched, blood on his jaw. He doesn't flinch, doesn't move. He's calculating, every word, every second. You can't win, Bruce, Stark says, voice edged with frustration. I can keep upgrading. I can keep adapting. You'll run out of tricks before I run out of energy. Batman's response is quiet, almost like a whisper. You already have. In that instant, Iron Man's systems spike. His HUD flickers, red alarms cascading across his vision. The suit jerks midair. Repulsors sputter. What the hell? Then it hits him. Batman didn't just fight. He infiltrated. Every EMP pulse, every countermeasure, every gadget. Bruce wasn't just defending himself. He was feeding viruses, probing weaknesses, learning Stark's system line by line. And now, the Bat virus blooms inside Iron Man's armor. Tony crashes into the street, armor struggling to reboot. Batman advances slowly, like a predator closing in. Every machine has a weakness, Bruce says. Even yours. But Tony Stark is not a man who surrenders. His eyes dart across the failing HUD. Fingers fly over manual overrides. With a desperate surge of genius, he rewrites his own code mid-battle, purging the virus in real time. Armor powers back online. The reactor flares again. And now it's Tony's turn to smirk. You're not the only one who plans ahead. The armor shifts, sleeker, faster, nanotech reshaping at his command. A fresh wave of weapons materializes. For the first time, Batman pauses. This is no longer the Iron Man he prepared for. The final clash is brutal. Iron Man unleashes everything. Repulsor beams, missile storms, nanoblades. Batman counters with precision, smoke fields, grapples, crushing strikes. They trade blow for blow, brains against brilliance, until both are bloodied, battered, and barely standing. Then comes the breaking point. Tony launches a concentrated uni-beam, a focused blast of reactor energy capable of melting tanks. Batman dives, cape shielding him as he plants a final explosive beneath Stark's feet. The detonation sends shockwaves through the street, collapsing the ground beneath them. Both men fall into the darkness. The dust clears. Batman rises first, bruised but alive. He reaches into his belt, pulling a batarang tipped with an EMP charge, the final strike. He could end this. He could shut down Iron Man's armor completely. But he hesitates. Because Bruce knows what that means. Stripping away the armor leaves Tony vulnerable, maybe even dead. And Batman doesn't kill. Not even now. Instead, he steps back. This fight's over, Stark. Walk away. Tony stirs, armor sparking, reactor dim. He looks up at Batman, exhausted, furious, and amused. You really are something else, Tony mutters. Most guys would have taken the shot. Batman's eyes narrow. I'm not most guys. And just like that, the fight ends. Not with a kill. Not with a final blow. But with two men realizing the truth. Iron Man can't outgun Batman. Batman can't outplan Stark forever. Victory isn't about destruction. It's about survival. And tonight, both survived. Later, Tony would joke about it. Guy dresses like a bat, fights like a machine, and still refuses to drink. What a waste of billionaire money. Bruce would never laugh. But deep down, he'd admit one thing. Tony Stark was the rare opponent who pushed him to his absolute limit. And maybe, just maybe, Iron Man walked away with the same respect. Because in the end, neither man won. But neither man lost. It was never just a fight. It was a battle of legacies. And both legacies survived.